And thanks, Jeff, for this. And, although, did you rate at Chili's for those Christmas lights?
You only have 5 minutes, Steve.
One more thing. There's Spanish in my story, so feel free to laugh at me, as I don't know how to speak Spanish. Alright, so this is the first 2 pages of the story that's in the journal. It's called Machine. Everything was perfect. We met at the Province Cafe. I was 24, she was 22. I was a mechanic, she a receptionist. 3 years later, we married. The sex, oh boy, the sex. I'm telling you, she couldn't get enough. Every time the man opened his mouth to speak, the odor of salami leaked out. The heavy, salty scent seemed like a fog moving through the air, settling the nostrils of Machine. Not that Machine minded too much. Money was always tight, and if he closed his eyes at just the right moment, it almost seemed as if he was the one eating a salami sandwich. He preferred pastrami, even corned beef, but salami was okay. Then bullshit happened, the man continued. You see, her parents owned a chicken farm. The only problem was they had no chickens. They kept dying, and none were being brought in. We thought we might have to have them move in with us. We weren't making shit, but that's how bad things were. Then, sweet Jesus, a lightning bolt of bullshit. Just around that time, Georgia was beginning the construction of their superhighways. Asphalt cement is what they needed. You know what goes into asphalt cement? Machine? Machine sat with his arms laid in front of him on the empty place setting, hands interlocked. 5% asphalt cement and 95% aggregates, like stone, sand, and gravel. God damn, you really are a machine. The man sniffed twice and cleared his throat. He pushed his dirty plate with a used napkin on it to the side before leaning back. He began talking with one hand clenched and the other waving a single finger in the air. Anyway, their fucking useless, barren farm had one thing going for it. It was so shitty, it had an abundance of gravel. We're talking grade A gravel. And so the state of Georgia bought their dirt for $25 million. The man clapped his hands as if he just made a joke. All of a sudden, they're all too good for me. Calling my family white trash, no longer drinking Pepsi but Coke, buying malt clothes at the mall, growing mustaches just because they were rich and they could. And I'm only talking about the women. A waitress emerged from the door leading into that cafe. You guys doing okay out here, she asked. Oh, I'm fine, darling, the man said. Machine, something to drink? Machine nodded his head to the waitress. No, en serio, estoy bien, pero por favor, no más carnes, ahumadas por el hombre. She laughed before disappearing inside. What was that, Spanish? You asked her on a date? Sort of. Here's something else, Machine. The man stopped to take a gulp of his Pellegrino. The gap in the one-sided conversation gave Machine a chance to speak. Have you thought about how you'd like me to kill her? The man slowly removed the glass from his lips, eyes closed. He breathed deeply before exhaling. A slow riptide of salami washed across the patio table. Machine thought about the Manhattan, pastrami, corned beef, coleslaw, and Russian dressing and rye he'd order after collecting his fee. No, I haven't, the man replied softly. His eyes opened, focusing briefly on the Machine before traveling to the green-tinted bottle. I suppose I fantasized about it. Machine sat still, studying the man. The man was the first to break the silence. Have you ever hated someone so much you wanted to kill them? Of course, the replied Machine. You sound like you disliked quite a few people. It's how you survived the army. And now? Now what? And now you kill people not because you hate them, but for a living? I do many things, Machine said, stroking his chin stubble. And yes, one of them is contract killing. Of course, you're a machine. The man poured another glass of Pellegrino. He took a few sips, turned his head to the sidewalk, and gazed at the foot traffic. Machine never took his eyes off the man. All these people walking by, the man said. No clue what we're talking about. I hope not, Machine said. The wind picked up and blew the dirty napkin off the plate. Machine watched it tumble on the ground towards the cafe. When he turned back, the man was staring at him, fondling the stem of the glass from the water. I remember the precise moment I began hating her. It was the weirdest sensation. I could feel my love, my hope, colliding with this poison. My veins were on fire. But what happened? Thanksgiving dinner, the man said. She had my parents sit with the help. What did you do? What do you think? The man said, sharply returning Machine's gaze. The same thing I've been doing for the last 30 years. He reached for the glass and finished it, leaving an angle to the heavens for an extra second. He tilted his head to the side and softly burped into his fist. Machine was grateful. We sometimes went on walks, the man said calmly. We'd hold hands and make our way to a pond near our house. The ducks loved us, yes sir. And let me tell you, Machine, she was a great gift giver. Is that so? And I don't mean on birthdays or Valentine's Day. I mean she would surprise me any given day with an Almond Joy or a Frankie Valli record. One time, after a particularly bad day at the shop, she surprised me with a Rawlings mitt. She said, "It's not for you. It's for the son we're gonna have one day." She was sweeter than apple pie. The man sat still looking at the Pellegrino. "You got family?" he asked. Machine was silent. "Come on, Machine. That has nothing to do with why we're here." "Family has everything to do with why we're here." Machine reached into his hidden blazer pocket and pulled out a pad and pen. "What's her address? Is it a gated community?" "Are you all alone in the world, Machine? Are only coupons and bills sent to your mailbox?" Machine sighed, allowed the pad and pen to rest in the empty space in front of him. According to the tenets of contract killing, personal conversation was strictly forbidden with clients, especially prospective ones. He looked at the man sitting across the table, eyes wide with curiosity. He scratched his stubble. "I have 2 brothers. Yahtzee," the man said, after a break through Machine's armor. "And what do?" Machine cracked a smile and turned his eyes to the street. One is a robot researcher at Stanford, and the other is a brain surgeon in Chicago. "Jesus Christ, you are a fucking machine!" Machine smiled at the man. "Maybe I am." Thank you.